Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday to you. And let me say this, Happy Father's Day to all fathers. Happy Father's Day. This is your special day. And guess what? I have a surprise. See, I told y'all I'm married. Some of y'all don't believe that. But here he is. Rexell Hardy Sr. Yes. So I just decided to do a little talk with him, he and I together, for Father's Day. But again, happy Father's Day to each of you. To each of you, enjoy your special day. And I want to personally recognize those fathers that have stepped up to the plate, that are doing what needs to be done, and that are examples for our youth of today. Because we need positive role models, we need positive men, we need people that's going to be there to show them what it means to be a real man, a real father. Okay, so again, happy Father's Day. Well, my husband and I, we've been together 48 years. I don't look that old, but 48 years. We've been married 44 years. Woo! Didn't plan on staying married that long. Let me explain why, because some people are like, let me say this. I was raised in a house where I heard a lot of marriage counseling, and people married their soulmate, and then the week of their honeymoon, they divorced or annulled their marriage. They didn't stay together, and I'm like, but you said that was your soulmate. So I made a conscious decision. Not that I was going to say, well, I'm going to marry for a week, and I'm going to marry for 2 years, I'm married for 8 and then divorce. That wasn't my thought process. My thing was, I'm going to take day by day, minute by minute, moment by moment, and if it lasts, it lasts. I've heard so many people get married one day and they planned for a big thing on their 10th year anniversary and didn't even make it to 5. So I just always learned to take it one day, and I do that with everything. So don't look at it as a bad thing when I say I didn't plan on staying married. What I'm saying is I learned to take it day by day, minute by minute. So again, this is my husband, Rexell Hardy Sr., 44 years of marriage, 48 years together. Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm trying to sound professional stuff, you know what I'm saying, but welcome. Anyway, we do have 2 children, Rex Jr. and Jasmine. We thank God for all the children he's given us, and some of them, they are older than he and I, or some are just older than me, because, he's a valued senior citizen, okay? But I thank God for the children that God has placed in our lives, and that's to look over, and that's the members of God's house that he's become basically a spiritual father to, and I've become a spiritual mother. But we're not here to talk about mothers. We're here to talk about fathers. So we're gonna have a discussion, throw some stuff out there, and let him talk a little bit. Now, he's used to talking on the phone. I promise you, if I put a phone in his hand, we're not going to be able to shut him up. But he's used to talking on the phone, but now there's no phone, okay? What does being a father mean to you?
Well, before I answer that, I want to say I want to thank you for who you are, the pastor, and I think you're doing an incredible job, absolutely an incredible job. And to answer your question.
And I didn't tell him to say that, but if you want to keep talking about that, you can. I'm all ears and then listen. But I did not tell him to say that, but, I'm glad he did, but go ahead.
But anyway, meaning of a father, to me, I would say a father, the meaning of a father has 3 P's. I want to name those. The 3 P's are a provider, protector, and a preparer.
Provider, protector, and prepare. He's so deep, y'all.
No, it's not being deep.
He is so deep, y'all. Y'all listen to him now.
You're supposed to prepare your kids to go out in the world.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
I got you.
And the second thing, a father, is a man, a father of love.
Mm-hmm.
Of love, true love. And simply because love has a way to express itself.
Mm-hmm.
It has many activities. So whatever activity that you have, give it.
All right. So you said, what is it? A provider,
Protector,
protector,
prepare.
and preparer. And let me say this, in 2009, my husband had a stroke. And therefore, that took his ability away from him to work a regular job, which is what he was used to. He's not going to sit down for nothing. He is in no way a lazy man.
No.
So that really did something to him mentally, because not being able to get up, get out, go, do for his family, that really did it for him. But when I say he doesn't let nothing stop him, if he set his mind to do something, he's going to do it, whatever it takes to do it. And I've always admired him for that. And he's always shown the children love and been a provider, and he's been a protector. So what he says, that he's lived by that. So that's a provider, protector, and a preparer. So that's what being a father, those three words wraps everything up. And what are some of the positive aspects of being a father? Because every position or every assignment or every call on our life has it has pros and cons to it. Being a mother, good and bad, ups and downs. But what are some of the positive aspects of being a father?
Well, some of the positive aspects of being a father, and mainly just being there for your kids. Being there, your presence makes a difference. It shows that you involved in what they're doing and what they are participating in. Just the presence of a father, it makes so much. You don't have to be involved all the way, but just be there. Your presence makes a difference.
Yeah, being visible.
Yeah.
Being visible.
Yes.
But then I've seen some households that without the father, the household was better.
Well,
so I think it depends on the characteristics of that father
That's
or
true.
mother. We're just talking about fathers today, being Father's Day. But sometimes, because I've heard people say, and you can agree or disagree, and then that'll determine whether we'll see 45 years of marriage. Okay, but anyway, I've seen some families that grew apart, separated, divorced, and actually those children were better off without that other parent in the house because it was so toxic. It was a toxic atmosphere. And I know of a father that told his children when they were younger, he said, well, I just want to let you know, your mother and I, we're going to be separating. We're going to go our separate ways. It's not working. Da, da, da. And the children were little. Guess what they said? They told the father, about time. Because if they have to be privy to arguing and fighting and coming into an atmosphere that it's not a good atmosphere. Actually, what you're doing to them, you're damaging them for life.
That's true.
You're damaging those children for life.
That's true.
Staying together is not damaging them. Staying together is not helping them. Staying together is damaging them because the atmosphere is so toxic. Come on, people, we got a lot to work on. And what we need to do is not work on the other person. Work on me. Is there some stuff I would like to change about him?
Yeah.
Hallelujah. Yes, God. Because I would like to form him to be exactly, but I'm sure it's nothing about me he would like to change.
Oh, yes.
I'm sure he's just saying that, but I'm sure but come on, let's be real and let's be honest. We have to make sure the atmosphere is right. And as a father, you said protector, provider, prepare. As a father, that should supersede that atmosphere and look, say this atmosphere is not good, this atmosphere. And the Bible even says that we are helpmeet, so we are supposed to help the husband, the father, whatever the case may be. So the positive aspects of being a father is to be there, be visible, be present, and not basically, people talk about being submissive to the man, and I know we're not talking about husband and wife right now, but the father's in charge. The father is the head of the house. The man is the head of the house. But as a head of the house, let me tell you what the head really does. The head considers everybody in the house. All right? It's not like the head, like, we're going to do it this way, and you move that here, you do this, and you. No, the head of the house is considering everybody in the house. So you consider that spouse, you consider those children, you consider everybody as a connection to when you are look at yourself as the head of the house. So as you said, the positive aspects is being visible and being there.
And another thing, the father being involved with the kid, it helps a great deal. It help in the social aspect, social development, and then more cognitive to doing what they need to do with their grades.
Yes, being visible with them in every level of their life.
Every level.
And it helps them socially. It helps them but you got to be the right father.
Right father.
If you're toxic, you're not the right father. If you have struggles, and it's okay, admit your struggles, admit your weaknesses. And like I said, that's for mothers too, but we're talking about fathers today. Admit, right now, I'm in a mental place where I cannot be the father that I would like to be. I need help. Let me say this. If you need help, get help. That shows more of your manhood, when you seek out help. It's okay, because we all have these times in our lives that we mess up, we make mistakes, we fall down, but we get up. We make decisions that are not so good. We make choices that can be damaging. But as long as you recognize it and go back and clean it up and get it together, all right? So the positive aspects of being a father is, the first thing he said was being visible, being there. That's important. What are some of the negative aspects?
Negative aspect, I would say, you're not being there. If you are there, you can be there all day long, but not being involved with your kids. That's what you call quantity time. You've been there, but you're not involved. Someone could come in, a father could come there, less time, but he's spending quality time with the kid. That's positive, and that's quality time. But if you don't have enough time to give that child, and so they can see what you're doing, that's negative. That's negative. And all right. And I'm gonna use myself. Some things I can't do. I can't do it simply because of my situation here. But I'm not gonna hide behind the situation. I do what I can, do all what I can, and what I can't do, I let God do the rest.
Yeah. I mean, and you were saying about quality and quantity. You could spend all the quantity time with them. Means absolutely nothing. It's what you do with that time. So quality, it supersedes the amount of time. You could spend an hour with the child, and it means nothing. But you could take 10 minutes, and it means all the world to that child. I remember, and this was regarding a mother now, but it's the same. Some things fall for both mother and father. I remember my dad was in school, and they had an assembly, and he said that he had asked my grandmother, the late Mother Bato, he had asked her by his programmer to come. Well, she was a businesswoman. She owned a lot of businesses, she and my grandfather, and so she told him, well, I can't come. I have to take care of this. I have to be here. I got a business to run. And I'll never forget him saying the best day of his life, he was doing I think they had a play. And he said he was up there, and when he was up there and he was doing whatever he had to do, doing his speaking part, doing his performing part, he said he was sad because he knew his mother was not there. But he said when he did his part, who did he see stand up and clap for him was my grandmother, his mother. He said that made his entire day basically worth living. So, of course, it's important to be visible and let them know you're visible.
Let me say this. As my wife speaks of her father and her grandmother, at my 8th grade graduation, my father, his job wouldn't let him off. He said he couldn't come. He said if he would take off, that was it. Matter of fact, going to terminate him. And I wanted my dad to be at my graduation. But my daddy wasn't there until the last minute. I stood up. My father had quit his job just to be at my graduation. The last 10 minutes, I saw him standing in the back. And it gave me more strength, more power to know my dad was there for me.
I didn't know your dad had it in him.
What was wrong with my dad?
Oh, I see him different
Yes,
now.
no. That was my dad.
Oh, he's
He
so
was there.
special.
The last 10 minutes, my father was there.
Mm-hmm. And that's important.
Because he gave me quality time in those 10 minutes.
Let me tell you all something about us. We talk about each other's family all the time. So don't take it personal. Why she say that? It's just my level of jovialness that I do. I talk my they whole family know what I talk about. Guess what? He talks about mine too. That's just how we get along. But anyway, no, I just I've never heard that story, but it shows you how important. Because whether I've heard it or not is not important. It's how it made him feel. And that's important. I'll never forget, if I can go back to even your mom, I remember that was when she was really sick. And I'll never forget this. Horace was in 7th grade, 8th grade.
8th grade.
And I stayed home from that Sunday. I stayed home with her that Sunday. And I'll never forget, Horace had mentioned, I think that Saturday night, I just wish my mama could cook a meal. And that Sunday, when everybody left out, she started giving me instructions, could barely walk because she was very sick. I'll never forget, she came in that kitchen, sat it right there, and they had a pantry. And she had me go in that pantry, get some sweet potatoes, and do this and do that. And she managed to put together a meal for her son. When she just heard him say, he just said to her that, man, I wish my mother could cook. So understand, as parents, we hear that and we do everything we can to bring that into place. So there's positive and there's negative when it comes to being a parent. Whether you're a father or mother, there's good, there's bad, there's ups and there's down. Did your childhood, because I got some stories about their upbringing, but anyway.
Never mind that.
Did your childhood have an impact on your thoughts or your actions about fatherhood?
Well, yeah.
Good and bad, did it have an impact?
Yeah, it had a great impact.
Okay.
Simply because there's a lot of things that happened in my past as a child that I saw. I said, no, I wouldn't want to do that to my kid.
Would you like to share those with us?
No, I don't want to go into that. But I will say this. I saw some things as a young lad. I said, when I get age where I start having, being a father, being a true father, I wouldn't want to do that. And that is to neglect your kid. I would see like some of my older brothers, they wouldn't stay around. Every time something that the kids needed them, they would always put their kids off on my mother. Mm-hmm. That's what something that messed me up, because I don't want to put my son off on and daughter off on nobody when we can take care of them ourselves. Mm-hmm. So therefore, I wouldn't want to do that. And with that being said, I would love to look at it a positive way. Do all you can for your kid, because one day they're going to turn around and you're going to look for that.
And whatever kind of parent you are, if you don't train them different, that's the kind of parent they're going to be to their children. And that's so sad, because some people I've seen have the worst parenting skills in the world. And the sad thing about it, you can't tell them nothing. They think they're the best parent, and it's always the child's fault, when God has given us, as a father, as a mother, to oversee our children, to teach our children, to instruct our children. We're doing the complete opposite when it comes to our children. It's almost as our children are teaching us. And that's not the right format. That's not the right equation. No. So therefore, we have to be positive role models. One thing I can say, and let me say this. We have not had the perfect marriage. There's no sense of me pretending, oh yeah, whoa, Bonnie, we've had the perfect. No, we have not had the perfect marriage. We've had some ups and downs. Yep. There was a time I was going to leave him. See, I'm transparent. I believe in telling the truth. I believe in coming forth with the truth, because the truth will set you free. No, we have not been the perfect couple as a married couple. But one thing my children can say, they have never, ever, ever seen us argue with each other. Well, first of all, they're not going to see that because he's not argumentative.
No.
I'm not argumentative. If I start arguing, he probably just get out the car and walk.
That's right.
Leave me there because he don't like being around arguing. And I'm not argumentative, so when I see something going somewhere, because a couple of times he kind of raised his voice at me, I had to check him. But anyway.
Sometimes you have to do that. You have to raise your voice.
And when he raises his voice, I'm like, boy, you are not my daddy. And I say, stop raising your voice. And he's like, I'm not raising my voice. What did you just do? But anyway, but when I see it going there, I'll shut down. I just shut up, And basically the same thing. They've never seen us argue like that. And so that's the image that I would like for my children to see. They have never seen us. Well, first of all, he ain't going. Thank God I've never had a husband that would hit me. Because, baby.
That's the thought, though.
What?
Go ahead. That's a good thought. Go ahead. I'm listening. That's the thought.
And when he say something like that, I always say, yo, what?
That's the thought.
Your mama. But anyway, God knows. Whoa. I can speak in tongues right now, but they wouldn't be. He's never hit me. And he's thank God that he hasn't, but that's not in him. That's not in him to do that. But all I'm saying is that, come on, fathers, mothers, but let's focus on fathers today. You got to do what it takes to keep your family in a positive light. Even with all negative around, what are you doing to make it work? You better say something.
Well, sometimes you have to lower your voice and raise your sight.
I told you I was deep,
you have
didn't
to
I?
raise your voice, lower your voice, and raise your sight. In other words, this is what I'm saying. You have to see your surrounding, what God has for you. God has blessed me with a beautiful wife, and I thank God for that. At the beginning, I said an incredible wife, incredible mother.
Keep coming.
And this is from my heart.
I know it.
This is from my heart. We have to lower our voice and raise our sight. Sometimes we don't get a chance to see it all. Then we look up, all that God has given us is gone. Why? Because we do not have any wisdom. Because of lack of wisdom.
And the Bible said, if any man lack wisdom, let him ask for it. So y'all better get to asking. All right? Okay. What are some of the things as a father you can teach your son, or you've taught, because our child is grown, you've taught your son? What are some of those things, the new coming fathers? Because these millennials, they ain't no joke. We're going to talk about them too.
Yeah.
But what's some of the things that you feel that you taught Rex?
Well, the first thing I like to say, we'll get to the millennial. But the thing about it, one thing in particular, and I still work on this. When I say work on it, think about it, and I like my father. My son is doing an excellent job. He's doing an excellent job. I instill in him not to be lazy. Don't be lazy. You know, if whatever you need to do, if you don't have no business, just go out, look around. You find yourself doing something. But I cannot understand why a father has to be lazy.
Or a man.
A father has to be lazy. You look around, you want somebody to do everything for you. That's not right. Being a father or a man. If you're able to do it, if you're disabled, I say, okay, if you can speak, give it to him in words. But just being there for your son. And I want to say this, as a father to my son, always be a gentleman. Always be a gentleman. I don't care where you are. It would take you places that other things, if you got all kind of money in the world, it would not take place in that. Just be a gentleman.
So what is a gentleman? Just
Well,
some aspects of it.
aspect-
Somebody's asking that. So what do you expect?
A gentleman, I would say, just open the door for someone. Simple as that. Just don't have to be just your wife. Give me anybody. Open the door. The thing that really messed me up when I experienced a stroke, there was a lady of another color. She, I wasn't used to it. And she was a Jewish lady, about 80 years old. I walked in the restaurant. She got up. She said, I'm gonna let you have my seat. I wasn't used to that. She said, you can have the seat. I said, no, miss. She said, you the one broke down. I'm not broke down, so I'm gonna get up. And so about that time, someone came through the door and took my seat. And the lady spoke up for me. She said, if you don't get out of this seat, I'm gonna put this 38 on you. So I don't know if she had a 38 or not. But this man weighing 300 pounds, he got up. She said, now, take that seat. That really blessed me, did something for me. Simply because I wasn't used to it. I wasn't used to it. Just stuff like that.
And also, stuff your children see. We talked about the bad they can see, but the good, that doesn't mean that they're going to do it all right. You know, sometimes kids go astray. The Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he gets old, he will not depart. So yeah, your kids can stray away from your teachings, stray away from things you showed them, but in their heart and in their mind, they know the example that has been set before them. So if they stray away, you pray that they come back. But at least if they strayed away, it wasn't because of you showing them the negative part.
Let me say this to you, doctor. If it's
And he
not
don't never call me doctor, so
doctor,
right?
if it's in,
Now, if you're going to call me doctor today, he's going to call me doctor from now until the end of time. 'Cause
Doctor?
he ain't never called me doctor. Somebody probably like, he referred to her as doctor.
doctor, let me say, if your child, whoever it is, if it's not in you to do that, it's not in you. It's got to be in you. In order for you to do certain things, I don't care how you train a child, talk to a child, but if it's not there, it's not there. So you just have to pray. Just pray that one day you'll get it.
Because sometimes we emulate our parents.
That's
So
right.
they can't teach something that they have not been taught. And that's why even as far as churches are concerned, mentors, a mentoring program, having another male figure in your life, another female figure, it's important. If my mother didn't teach me, let me find a female that can probably help me out.
Yeah.
Now, in my household, my father was the dominant person. What I mean by that, my mother was very quiet, very subdued. My father taught me a lot. My mother would just sit there and shake her head. He wasn't a talker like that. So my dad even taught me how to be a woman. My mother didn't. My mother showed me through her actions. I never saw my mother and father argue like that. I never saw them go at each other. So she taught me through her actions. So I learned how to be a woman through her actions. But I was taught how to be one from my dad. And so that's leading to the next thing I want to ask. As a father, what are some of the things you can teach your daughter? Or what have you taught our daughter as a young lady? And then from a father's point of view.
Well, one thing in particular that I instilled in my daughter, our daughter.
Yeah, because I gave birth to her.
Yeah, you did. That's to stay focused. You have to stay focused. If you're not staying focused, you're gonna lose out. Because anytime just anybody will walk up to you and say, I love you, those are just words. Just words. So as a parent, you and I have given Jasmine that true love. That true love that we read about in 1 John 3:18. True love. That we read about and we see it at all times. It's not words, just words. It's not that. In 3:18, to speak of true love. In other words, love has a way of showing activity. Love has a way of expressing itself. True love. So we give that to our daughter. Anybody can walk up to her and try to give her that. She knows the difference between true love and false.
And that's prayer. That's the prayer that I pray. You know, that she knows what it is. I put something on Facebook the other day. If someone came up to you, a man came up and said, God spoke to me and told me you're my wife. Do you just jump ship and marry them? And different ones responded, you know. But my thing is this: if God told you, He gonna tell me. If God told me, He gonna tell you. And you did teach Jasmine this, is not to be desperate in love. No. Woo! Not because she's 30 years old now. Don't be desperate. Don't be so gullible. Don't be so vulnerable. Just because, like Mom just said, just because somebody say, I love you. Yeah. I love you. Those are mere words. We want to see action. Action. Action speaks louder than words. Because somebody can say, I love you, and take a knife and put to your back. So as a father...
Before you go into that, another thing in particular that I taught Jasmine, don't settle less for the best.
Ain't he deep, y'all? Don't settle less
for
the best. Go ahead. Preach.
Yeah. Don't settle less for the best, because sometimes you get less, and by the time you get where you're going, less is going out the door. But if you wait on God, He'll give you the best. You'll be able to go all the way.
Wait, I say, on the Lord. So we're wrapping it up now, but I'm thinking about millennials, and we're just going to take a minute or so for that. Millennials is this now age thing that their upbringing is so different. Now, when I say upbringing, I mean the way they're bringing their children up, you know, the way they dress, you know, even their speech, their communication skills. But millennials can also learn from yesteryear, as I call it, how to be the father. So many of them now are used to making quick money, fast money. Exactly. And so we teach them. I would never forget when I was teaching school and this little boy came. And when he came, I was a social worker. I wasn't teaching, I was a social worker at that time. And the teacher came and got me, and she said this little boy had a knife down in his sock. And so I brought him to my office and I asked him, what are you going to do with that knife? And he said, I came to get, he named the other little boy. I said, why? Well, yesterday I had a toy, he took it from me. And then he told the story, and I'm going to take care of him. I'm like, first grade, no, kindergarten, not even in first and up, kindergarten. And I said, are you kidding me? So I talked to him, I took the knife from him, whatever. But then I called the parent in. But he got it from the parent. And then the parent was ready to jack him up. No, how can you jack him up when he's emulating what he's seen through you? That's how he's seen you react. So it's important millennials understand that. My husband will close it out and we're done. You got to change some stuff. You got to change some stuff because we still want effective, fun, fulfilling, positive males and role models in the years to come. And you can close it out.
Yeah, I want to say in closing, and to my wife, I want to thank you for this day because you gave me some time. I'm still here. I want you to let you know I'm still here. But most of all, really, it's a different. My wife made some statement about the stuff that we learned in the past that was helpful to us. But the Bible also, Matthew 6 and 33 says, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. And all the other things, what? Will be added. Now, if you don't seek God, God has to be in the equation. If God not be in the equation, you're not going to make it too far. First of all, in telling the people, It's not that we can't learn from them, because this is a different day and time. Yes, we can. And as I stated before, when our kids talking to us, we listen because we can learn from them. And as I stated, if what they're telling us, and we always up here talking, no, lower your voice and raise your sight. So in other words, we can learn something from them. We can learn something from our kids. Parent doesn't know it all. Parent doesn't know it all. The answer is no. But in this time of day, we have to teach our kid to project the right image and use the right phrase at all times. What I mean about that, projection has a whole lot to do with it. Projection has a whole lot. Do not teach your kids get on Facebook to say anything, because that can follow you. It will follow you down through years. You're going to get a job one day. Whatever you're going to do, that's going to follow you. You have to project. You have to learn to respect. Give it out. It'll come back to you. Respect is not a trophy. It's something that you earn. I want to thank you. I want to thank my lovely wife for being on our show today.
My show. But anyway, yes. If you all liked what went on here and you want more, just put in your, just type in them comments more, and we'll do more. Again, thank you.
Thank you
for being here, and thank you for this conversation. And we are going to do more. We appreciate you. And again, this is the opportunity for you to think, consider, and reconsider your placement in life. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.